1977 was soft rock's golden year. Radio was alive with silky harmonies, smooth grooves, and unforgettable songs. These 13 tracks defined a sound that's never been matched. Stick around, the bonus entry at the end is a legendary track that blurs soft rock and classic rock like nothing else. Number 13. Picture this, a debut single from unknown studio musicians that sounds like it's been on the radio forever. The kind of track that makes you wonder how something so perfectly crafted could come from complete unknowns. Baby Come Back, Player.
Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see.
Player emerged from the Los Angeles session scene with a song that felt timeless from its first note. Written by Peter Beckett and J.C. Crowley after a painful breakup, Baby Come Back was recorded at the legendary Sound City Studios with some of the city's finest session players. The track's genius lies in its restraint. While other bands were chasing complexity, Player built their masterpiece on a foundation of silk-smooth harmonies and a deceptively simple groove. Released in late 1977, the song climbed slowly but steadily, finally hitting number 1 in early 1978. The band may have faded from memory, but this track remains a testament to the power of perfect songcraft. Number 12. Here's a band that needed to shed their teen idol image fast. They'd conquered the UK with bubblegum pop, but America demanded something more sophisticated. Their answer became their biggest stateside success. You Made Me Believe in Magic, the Bay City Rollers. By 1977, the Bay City Rollers were desperate to outgrow their screaming teenage fan base. Working with producer Harry Maslin, fresh off his collaborations with David Bowie, they crafted a sound that was sleeker, more mature, and perfectly suited for American radio. Recorded in London, You Made Me Believe in Magic represented a complete sonic makeover. Gone were the simple 3-chord progressions of their earlier hits. In their place came sweeping string arrangements, layered backing vocals, and just enough disco shimmer to catch the zeitgeist. The song peaked at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming their biggest American hit and proving that even the most unlikely acts could reinvent themselves. Number 11. Sometimes the most powerful songs are the quietest ones. This track took a completely different approach to the typical breakup song. No anger, no pleading, just a calm acceptance that sometimes love simply runs its course. We Just Disagree, Dave Mason.
There's only you and me, and we just disagree.
Dave Mason's We Just Disagree offered something rare in popular music, a mature philosophical take on the end of a relationship. Written by guitarist Jim Kruger, who also provided the haunting harmony vocals that define the track, the song was recorded during sessions for Mason's Let It Flow album in Los Angeles. The beauty of We Just Disagree lies in its emotional honesty. While most breakup songs of the era either begged for reconciliation or burned with anger, this track simply acknowledged that sometimes two people can love each other and still be fundamentally incompatible. Built on delicate acoustic layers and reaching number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100, its gentle sophistication made it a favorite of adult contemporary radio.
Have you got a place to stay? Why should I care?
Number 10. This next artist took Southern rock's gritty foundation and polished it into something that could slide seamlessly between R&B and soft rock radio. Their biggest crossover hit proved that geography didn't have to limit your sound. So Into You, Atlanta Rhythm Section.
So into you.
Atlanta Rhythm Section found their sweet spot somewhere between southern rock and smooth soul, and So Into You was the perfect vehicle for that hybrid sound. Recorded at Studio One in Doraville, Georgia, the track showcased a band willing to dial back their harder edges in favor of something more sensual and radio-friendly. Producer Buddy Bowie understood exactly what the song needed. Instead of driving rhythms, So Into You floated on a hypnotic groove that was all about atmosphere. The electric piano work provided a silky foundation, while ambient guitar textures created a late-night mood that was impossible to resist. The song's success, reaching number 7, proved that Southern bands could compete in the increasingly sophisticated world of late 70s radio.
You get into me, I'm so into you.
Number 9. Here's a ballad that took nearly 9 months to reach its peak, setting a record for chart longevity in the process. Sometimes the most honest songs need time to find their audience, and this track proved that patience could be rewarded. I Go Crazy, Paul Davis.
I go crazy.
Paul Davis understood the power of restraint. I Go Crazy, recorded at Web 4 Studios in Atlanta, was minimalism at its finest. Just gentle piano chords, hushed vocals, and a steady pulse that never tried to be more than it needed to be. Released in August 1977, the song took an unusual path to success, climbing the charts for nearly 9 months before peaking at number 7. The track's extended chart run, 40 weeks total, set a record that stood for years. Davis had crafted something that radio programmers couldn't ignore, a song that grew more compelling with each listen. His vocal delivery was conversational, almost whispered, creating an intimacy that made listeners feel like they were overhearing a private confession. The song's success proved that sometimes the simplest approach could be the most powerful. Number 8. This artist had already conquered folk rock, but his biggest solo hit came when he revisited an old song with some very famous friends. Sometimes the best collaborations happen when former bandmates put aside their differences for the sake of a great song. Sentimental Lady, Bob Welch. Bob Welch's Sentimental Lady began life as a deep cut on Fleetwood Mac's 1972 album, Bare Trees. But when Welch decided to revive it for his 1977 solo career, he enlisted his former bandmates, Christine McVie and Lindsey Buckingham, to help transform it into something special. Recorded at Cherokee Studios in Los Angeles, the new version shimmered with the California sound that was dominating radio. Buckingham's production fingerprints were all over the track, tight guitar lines, layered harmonies, and that distinctive sonic polish that had made Fleetwood Mac superstars. The collaboration proved mutually beneficial. Welch got his biggest solo hit, reaching number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, while demonstrating that the Fleetwood Mac sound was bigger than any single lineup. Number 7. Picture a song inspired by a phrase overheard in conversation, recorded at the most famous studio in the world, and featuring one of the most distinctive saxophone solos of the decade. This track turned a simple story into a cinematic experience. Year of the Cat, Al Stewart.
In the year of the cat.
Al Stewart's Year of the Cat was never intended to be just another radio single. Recorded at Abbey Road Studios with producer Alan Parsons, the song was conceived as something cinematic, a musical short story that would transport listeners to another time and place. The track's inspiration came from a casual conversation, but Stewart and Parsons transformed that simple seed into something epic. The arrangement was a masterclass in atmosphere, with shimmering piano, subtle guitar work, and Phil Kinsey's wandering saxophone creating a dreamlike soundscape. At nearly 7 minutes, it unfolded like a film, with each section revealing new details about its mysterious protagonist. The song's success, reaching the top 10, proved that audiences were hungry for something more sophisticated than the typical 3-minute pop song.
These days, she says, I feel my life just like a river running through.
Number 6. This next song almost didn't make it onto the album. The producer had to fight to include it, recognizing something special that others had missed. Sometimes the most important songs are the ones that almost get left behind. Just the Way You Are, Billy Joel.
The way you are.
Billy Joel's Just the Way You Are nearly became one of music's great lost songs. When Joel finished recording sessions for the Stranger album, he considered the track too simple, too sentimental. It was producer Phil Ramone who recognized its potential and insisted it be included on the album. Recorded at A&R Studios in New York, the song was built around Joel's gentle Fender Rhodes piano and a rhythm section that knew when to hold back.
Conversation, I never want to work.
The real magic came from Phil Wood's saxophone solo, a warm conversational melody that became as memorable as Joel's vocal. The song reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, earned Joel 2 Grammy Awards, and became a wedding standard that's still played today. Joel had created something that felt completely honest and unforced.
Forever, this I promise from the heart.
Number 5. Here's a track that started as a simple melody and became one of the most recognizable opening riffs in soft rock history. The artist walked into the studio with just a basic idea and walked out with a song that would define his career. On and On, Stephen Bishop.
On and on, she just keeps on trying.
Stephen Bishop's On and On emerged from one of those magical studio sessions where everything just clicks. Bishop arrived with a gentle melody and a bittersweet story about lost love, and producer Henry Louis knew exactly how to frame it. The sessions featured heavyweight talent. Chaka Khan provided backing vocals, while Larry Carlton contributed his signature guitar work.
Poor old Jimmy sits alone in the moonlight, saw his woman.
But nobody tried to steal the spotlight. The song's beauty lay in its restraint. Bishop kept things simple, with his acoustic guitar providing the foundation and Carlton's electric guitar adding subtle color. Released near the end of 1977, On and On took time to find its audience, finally breaking through in early 1978 to reach number 11. The song's light shuffle and easygoing vibe disguised lyrics that dealt with genuine heartbreak, the hallmark of truly great songwriting.
And it smiles and it feels like crying. On and on.
Number 4. Think of a country legend who decided to tackle Roy Orbison's most challenging ballad. This artist transformed a complex orchestral piece into something intimate and heartbreaking, proving that the best covers don't copy, they reimagine. Blue Bayou, Linda Ronstadt.
Forward to happier times on Blue Bayou.
Linda Ronstadt's version of Blue Bayou took Roy Orbison's 1963 original and transformed it into something entirely her own. Working with producer Peter Asher, Ronstadt stripped away the orchestral grandeur of Orbison's version and rebuilt the song around her crystalline voice and a more intimate arrangement. Recorded during sessions for her Simple Dreams album, Ronstadt's interpretation emphasized the song's emotional core rather than its technical complexity. Her vocal performance was both powerful and vulnerable, capturing the longing and melancholy that made the song so compelling.
Saving nickels, saving dimes, working.
The production was clean and uncluttered, allowing every nuance of her performance to shine through. The track became one of Ronstadt's biggest hits, reaching number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and proving that she could tackle any genre with equal skill. Her version of Blue Bayou demonstrated the power of interpretation, how a great artist could take an existing song and make it completely their own through sheer force of personality and musical understanding.
Someday, come what may, to Blue Bayou.
Number 3. Sometimes the most enduring songs come from the most unlikely moments. This track was written in just 10 minutes on a borrowed keyboard in a small studio next door. Yet it became one of the defining songs of the entire decade. Dreams, Fleetwood Mac. Stevie Nicks penned Dreams during a turbulent period for the band, when every member was caught in some kind of romantic or personal upheaval. Recorded at the record plant in Sausalito, California, the track was deceptively simple. Just a steady drum beat, John McVie's pulsing bass, and Nick's ethereal vocal floating above a haze of keyboards and guitars. But that restraint was exactly its strength.
They would come and they would go.
Released in 1977, Dream soared to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, the band's only U.S. chart topper. Its hypnotic groove and hauntingly direct lyrics made it the perfect soundtrack for heartbreak, healing, and everything in between.
I keep my visions to myself.
Number 2. Here's an artist who took a simple piano ballad and turned it into one of the most emotionally devastating songs of the decade. Sometimes the most powerful performances come from the most personal places. Looks like we made it, Barry Manilow.
Looks like we made it. We left each other.
Barry Manilow's Looks Like We Made It represented the singer-songwriter at his most emotionally vulnerable. Written by Richard Kerr and Will Jennings, the song dealt with the complex emotions of encountering a former lover who's moved on to happiness with someone else. Manilow's vocal performance was a masterclass in controlled emotion. He could have oversold the song's dramatic potential, but instead chose restraint, letting the lyrics' inherent power carry the emotional weight. The arrangement, featuring lush strings and subtle piano work, provided the perfect backdrop for Manilow's storytelling. The song's success, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, proved that audiences were hungry for songs that dealt with adult emotions in sophisticated ways. Manilow had created something that spoke to anyone who'd ever wondered what if about a relationship that didn't work out. The song's enduring appeal lies in its emotional honesty and universal truth.
And then close enough to touch those burning memories.
Number 1. Our number 1 entry comes from an artist who was already building a devoted following, but reached new heights with a song that established an entire lifestyle brand. Sometimes the most lasting art comes from the most honest places. Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville captured the essence of 1977's laid-back attitude while establishing the template for what would become known as golf and western music. Written by Buffett himself, the song emerged from his experiences living in Key West and his observations of the casual, beach town lifestyle that was becoming increasingly appealing to stressed-out Americans. Recorded for his album Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes, the song's genius lay in its deceptive simplicity. What sounded like a throwaway party anthem actually contained sophisticated storytelling and a subtle character study of someone using tropical escapism to avoid dealing with life's responsibilities. The track's success, reaching number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, launched Buffett into superstardom and created an entire cultural phenomenon. Margaritaville became more than just a song, it became a philosophy and a business empire. The song's enduring popularity proves that the most authentic expressions often resonate the longest. Bonus track. Picture a song that perfectly captured the laid-back California lifestyle while telling a story of romantic uncertainty. While firmly a classic rock masterpiece, this track also shares soft rock's hallmarks, melodic harmonies, smooth guitar textures, and a polished radio-friendly production that made it accessible to a wide audience. Hotel California, Eagles.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
The Eagles' Hotel California stands as perhaps the most complex and mysterious song of 1977. Written primarily by Don Felder, Don Henley, and Glenn Frey, the track showcased the band at their most sophisticated, combining accessible melodies with ambitious lyrics that invited endless interpretation. The song's famous dual guitar solo, performed by Felder and Joe Walsh, became one of rock's most celebrated instrumental passages. Henley's lyrics created a surreal narrative that worked on multiple levels, as a commentary on excess, a meditation on the American dream, or simply as a mysterious story. The production was immaculate, with every instrument occupying its own sonic space while contributing to the overall atmosphere. Hotel California reached number 1 and became the Eagles' signature song, proving that radio audiences were ready for something more challenging than typical pop fare. The track's enduring popularity demonstrates the power of combining accessible melodies with sophisticated songwriting.
Hotel California, any time of year.
1977 gave us soft rock perfection. The 13 tracks didn't just dominate the charts, they created a sound that's never been matched. Which one takes you back the most? Let us know in the comments below.